So for today, I am going to update you folks on some of the continuing disability review statistics that have come out to make you aware of what's going on. And for those of you that don't know about a continuing disability review, that is when you get your benefits approved. Most of you are subject to ongoing reviews. So we will dig into that. Also going to take some time to address your questions. You can type your question in the chat box. Oh, in a little while, I will open up the phones. I just got to remind myself to do that. So you can actually call in and speak with us here to get your questions answered, right? So first things first, I am going to share my screen, and there's something, a question that I just wanted to cover with people, and that was, that's this one here. I'm going to start with the CDR information. Philip, this is from your group. States, my husband has been on SSDI for end-stage kidney failure since he was 20. Nothing has changed, but this week we received a letter saying he's healthy, and they're taking him off of benefits at age 50. So he's been on SSDI for 30 years. Anyone else experience this? Well, I have a few comments on this. I mean, usually you receive notification in the process, you have a review process, you fill out some paperwork, short form, long form, you send it back in. That's not communicated here. People do get a notification, and perhaps they did and they're not stating it in this post, or they got it and they ignored it. And if you do receive it and you ignore it, then that could end up in something like this. So, a few things here. Make sure that you keep your mail read, up to date. Pay attention to stuff from Social Security if you're a disability recipient, because you are subject to these reviews. Now, this situation certainly is unfortunate. Somebody's been on benefits, hasn't worked in a long time, and I'm not going to get into all the medical thing, but there are certain conditions that Social Security views have the possibility for medical improvement. And those are the ones that are going to be more likely to have reviews and frequent reviews. An example of that could be, if somebody had cancer and they're going through treatment, and they're expected to have their cancer stabilized, or if somebody had a stroke and they're going through rehab and they'll get their mobility or their speech back, but it might take 18 months. Things like that are definitely higher on the scale. So before I get into the statistics on this, either of you have anything to add to this Angela comment?
No.
No? So I'm going to put up on the screen next, and Jam, I'll put this in the next link in chat so that you can circulate it around. So this page right here is from Social Security, and it answers a common question that people have. Like, I haven't had a review. I'm going to get a review. When is my review? Right?
They also ask, why am I getting reviewed every 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. And the structure for the reviews is on this page, and there's medical improvement expected are the ones that are going to have the higher probability of a review. Medical improvement not expected, these are individuals that are like permanently disabled, are not going to be scheduled for a review. And then MIP, medical improvement possible. So I haven't paid close enough attention to those that we work very closely with to watch the awards come through to see which ones are, which ones are not. But what I do look at and I encourage you to do this as well, is this variation of this information is in your award letter. And in your award letter, there's a section that says things to remember, and pay attention to that, because it will say if it's going to be every year to 18 months, every 3 to 5 years when your review will be. Okay. So that will be helpful. You can speculate this it really all you want. The thing that I see is they're not consistent, and it might say 3 to 5 years, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. One thing that I do know, I'm going to share the statistics with you in a minute, is the trends for these are obvious. They are going to continue, or they have been continuing to increase. Now, just I'll mention again at the end of the show, next week, we have attorney James Mitchell Brown will be here, and he is our resident expert in many areas of Social Security disability. He's been doing this for 43 years, but he is very well versed in continuing disability reviews. So make sure you tune into that next week. We're just going to basically dig into some of these questions a bit deeper, and you'll have the chance to ask him directly. So heads up on that. Mark your calendar. All right. So then the next thing, before I get into the statistics, this is the next link I'll have, Jim, I'll share with you, is this is where the latest statistics are if you want to download them. What I'm always apprehensive to do is just share information with you that's not supported by anything. And I don't know if this bold text can you read that on the screen? Are you able to see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I'm going to go through this. This is the latest information from Social Security on continuing disability reviews. So keep in mind, in the big picture, there's around 9 million Social Security disability recipients. And in 2022, because they haven't released 2023, they probably won't until this time next year. But they reviewed 1.5 million of the estimated 9 million of disability recipients. So that's 18%, something like that. Real rough math. And what that shakes down to is 125,000 of those were terminated. The benefits were terminated. So it's been in the 125, 140,000 range when I've looked at these statistics from different reports. But an interesting thing that I see here is if you get a full medical review, well, let's just back up a little bit. So the process in general works like this. If you're going to get a continuing disability review, you receive a letter. It would either be a short form or a long form, and you fill that out and you send it back in. That's this over here. That's the 1.5. Then if they look at it and they say, well, you know what? We need to do a full medical review on this. That's the 583,236. And if you look at those that are terminated that don't successfully prove that they should continue their disability, it's 125,000. So it's at 25%. Real rough math. 23% maybe. Somebody wants to do the math for me out there? Have at it. So if you get a medical review, you really need to make sure that you're on your game. Because the percentages of those that are not passing the medical review are the 125,190. So those are the recent statistics and what's going on. Now, if we go back and look at 2021 totals, there was 117,000 that were terminated. Go back to 81,000 in 2020. So these were, in my opinion, COVID influenced. And then back here was 146, and then 188,000. So if we take the COVID out, because Social Security, most of it was operating on a very limited capacity, and they weren't able to, one of the things that they weren't able to do successfully was the same volume, then, we're looking at 125, 128, but the number of reviews here are solid, 1.5 million. So I don't see those going away. So I hope this is helpful. Listen, this isn't a scare tactic for people. I mean, if you really break it down, those that are losing their benefits is like around 1% of the disability recipients. But what my effort here is to make you aware, and there's things that you can do and that you can learn from us for free that will help you protect your benefits, ensure your benefits. That's why we're here every week. That's why we have over 1,000 videos on our YouTube channel. That's why we provide the membership. When you come in, you complete your profile. You get access to information that will help you understand what you need to do wherever you're at in the process. Now, to help you and to support this, like how to prepare and pass a CDR, if you search the YouTube channel for the keywords CDR, you'll find 4 segments of a 10-segment course that we did with attorney James Mitchell Brown. The full course with legal support, if you need it, is available to members. You register, you ask for it, and we will enroll you in the course. There's no charge for the membership. There's no charge for the course. It takes you through how to prepare, what to do when you get it, what happens if it's not successful, all the way through the life cycle. Okay. That is the CDR section.